family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures walking around.
Several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and it's looking at us, and it's still there. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we terrified.
This would be ground zero for activity regarding the U.S. government's involvement.
Flying saucers in Canada, weird creatures in Texas, and glowing balls in the sky.
Yo, I think we're seeing some aliens.
People are watching strange stuff all over the world.
Y'all see that? What is that?
Are aliens checking us out in their UFOs? Let's take a look and find out.
The hell is it?
That is insane. Look, it's just disappeared.
You might have seen strange things, but not stranger than what this couple saw.
Two bright lights way above the tree line.
On May 14th, a couple was driving near Fort Alexander when they saw 4 bright objects floating above the Winnipeg River. These things were as bright as the sun, even though it was 10 at night. They couldn't believe their eyes. They quickly grabbed their phones and started filming because they thought they might be witnessing real aliens.
Yo, I think we're seeing some aliens. For real.
The glowing orbs stayed still in the sky for a while before suddenly disappearing. SpaceX capsule.
Move on out of that mysterious close encounter. This object you see here was caught on camera flying past the SpaceX rocket just minutes after liftoff left.
4 brave astronauts were heading to the space station in a SpaceX rocket one Friday morning. Just 12 minutes after they left Earth, something unexpected happened. A mysterious object suddenly appeared and flew very close to the spacecraft. People watching the video couldn't believe their eyes. What was this weird thing flying so near the rocket? Some wondered if it could be a UFO. Space experts thought it might be a chunk of ice from the rocket's liquid oxygen, but no one knew for sure. The astronauts made it safely to the space station, but the mystery remains.
The thing that makes me think that that is just most likely a piece of ice is that it happened right at the time where they were inserted into orbit.
Chilean UFO.
We have an active member of the military telling us that they have UFO sightings all the time. I mean, that's crazy to me.
In 2014, something amazing happened at the Cerro Moreno Air Base in Chile. A group of Air Force workers were doing their usual jobs when they saw something strange in the sky. It wasn't a plane or a bird. It was a big, shiny disc with blinking lights. The disc moved in ways that normal planes can't. It zipped around quickly and changed direction suddenly. The Air Force team couldn't believe their eyes.
Este objeto inmóvil cerca de las nubes emite una especie de estela turbulenta.
They quickly took out their cameras and started filming the weird object. When the Chilean government heard about this, they decided to look into it. They asked top scientists and a special group called CIA to study the videos and photos. After a lot of careful looking, they came to a surprising decision. They said the UFO was real. Flying saucer. In 2003, some friends were enjoying a boat trip off the South African coast. Suddenly, they noticed something odd in the sky. At first, they thought it was just a bird or maybe a plane. But when it came close, they realized it was something much stranger, a real flying saucer. The saucer was round and shiny, hovering above the waves. One of the friends quickly grabbed his camera and started taking pictures. He took pictures, one right after the other. But when they looked at the photos later, they couldn't believe what they saw. In the first picture, the saucer was clearly there, floating over the sea. But in the very next pic, taken just a second later, it was gone. The sky was completely empty. It was as if the saucer had vanished into the air. A mysterious sky sighting.
Flares, maybe?
Maybe.
No, they're...
A couple in San Diego had an experience they'll never forget. One evening, 2 mysterious lights appeared high above the city. At first, they thought these were just flares, but the lights were different and moved strangely. They started filming. Suddenly, things got freaky when the lights began splitting and moving downward. Unable to identify those glowing streaks, they shared the video online to get some clues. Was that an otherworldly visitor? Or was some extraterrestrial chasing their plane through San Diego's night sky? Moving fleet.
No, that's a UFO for sure.
You have seen stars in the sky, but people in Texas spotted something that left them frightened. On September 1st, 2022, near Spicewood, Texas, people saw 5 green lights in the dark sky. But these weren't ordinary lights. These were moving in a way that seemed impossible.
Oh, whoa. What is that?
They watched in amazement. Some people say it's just a natural light show, like ball lightning or something. But come on, those moves were way too smart. Tons of people are sure it's aliens, maybe checking us out. This could be our first real evidence of extraterrestrial life. The truth was out there, and it was flashing right above us. Glasgow UFO. Something strange caught the eye of a woman in Glasgow. From her flat window, she spotted an odd shape moving across the sky. Excited and curious, she called her friend over to see.
Lindsay, come here. Yeah, could you turn the focus thing? I'm just trying to keep my hands.
Her friend grabbed his camera and started filming. The mysterious object flew from the northwest of Glasgow towards the southwest. Its unusual shape and size left them confused. What could it be? They couldn't figure out what they were seeing. Was it a plane, a balloon, or something else entirely? They shared their video online, and soon lots of people were talking about the mysterious flying object. Aussie Bright Streak. On February 25th, 2021, something weird happened in the sky over Australia. People in Queensland were having a normal evening when they saw 2 bright lights suddenly appear in the dark sky, moving together.
The hell is it?
That is insane. Look, it's just disappeared.
The lights looked like they were burning and had long tails. People started filming on their phones. At first, some thought it might be aliens or secret weapons, but experts looked at the footage and figured out what really happened. It wasn't aliens or weapons. It was space junk. A big Chinese rocket had fallen back to Earth and broken into pieces. Arrow-shaped object. People in Sao Paulo spotted a big, weird-looking thing in the sky near a biting. This thing was huge, about as tall as 2 stories. It had a weird shape, shiny lights on its bottom. Some people thought it might be a giant kite, but kites usually move around in the wind. This object just stayed still. It was so steady, it didn't even wobble. What could this thing be? Is it a sign from outer space, like aliens trying to contact us? Or maybe it's some wild new science experiment we don't know about yet. Sun Stealer. On April 19th, 2022, NASA witnessed something astonishing. A massive object appeared near the sun, and it was so large that scientists believed it might be bigger than Earth. The strange object hovered close to the sun for hours, as if it was absorbing the sun's hot gases. Then, suddenly, it sped away into space at an incredible speed. Space experts speculated that it might be a giant alien spaceship refueling from the sun. However, this raised many questions. If something that enormous was in our solar system, why hadn't we noticed it before? This mysterious event left experts confused and sparked a lot of curiosity and debate. What could this object be, and where did it come from? UFO Sphere. On April 29th, 2021, a group of people on a hot air balloon ride saw something they'll never forget. At first, they spotted a tiny speck far away in the sky. As their balloon drifted closer, the speck got bigger and bigger. Soon, they could see it clearly, a glowing red ball floating in the air. The mysterious orb looked just like a pokeball from Pokemon. It was perfectly round and shiny, just hanging there in the sky. The balloon riders couldn't believe their eyes. How could this strange object be floating so high up? When they landed, they showed their video to the world. People everywhere watched it and wondered what it could be. Was it a UFO? A secret flying machine? The mystery is still unsolved. Moon visitors. Near Montreal, astronomers were filming the moon when something extraordinary happened. 2 or 3 massive objects, shaped like giant pills, suddenly flew across the telescope's view. These weren't tiny specks. Each one was about 100 miles long. They looked just like enormous tic-tac candies floating in space. The objects moved in a smooth, deliberate way, casting perfect shadows on the moon's surface. But before they could do something, it vanished. Experts wondered if these might be comets or space junk, while others thought they could be alien spaceships. This makes us wonder what other cosmic surprises are out there, right? Giant disc!
We're calling this a genuine UFO. While the Chilean government has yet to comment on the photo.
Strange cloud or UFO? Skywatchers spotted an odd shape above. While driving, some people saw something in the sky that made them stop and stare. Among the puffy white clouds, there was a dark, long shape that didn't move at all. What could it be? This object looked a lot like the famous UFO seen at Holloman Air Force Base in 1957. It wasn't fluffy like the other clouds nearby. Instead, it was smooth and dark, almost like it didn't belong there. People started sharing photos of the strange shape online. Some thought it might be a spaceship hiding in the clouds, while others believed it was part of secret government plans to control the weather. Whatever it was, this mysterious sight left everyone wondering what was really floating above us. Malaysian UFO. Something bizarre happened in a village in Malaysia's Kuala Krai district. One evening, the villagers were shocked to see a strange object in the sky. It wasn't an ordinary airplane, but a huge, glowing disc that moved slowly across the horizon. People couldn't believe their eyes. They shouted and pointed as it drifted closer, seemingly scanning everything below. Someone filmed the mysterious object, and the video quickly spread across Malaysia, sparking widespread curiosity. Local police investigated, but they couldn't provide an explanation for what the villagers had seen. Everyone was convinced it was something out of the ordinary. Machu Picchu cigar. A tourist's video of Machu Picchu has gotten lots of attention online. The video shows something weird happening at the old Inca city. Out of nowhere, a big cigar-shaped thing appears in the sky. It just floats there, not moving at all. It looks like it's watching the people and the old city below. The person filming zooms in closer. We can see the thing is shiny and has odd marks on it. Then something really strange happens. The floating object starts to glow. The light gets brighter until it's as shiny as the sun and it disappears. Disc UFO. High in the mountains of Tepoztlan, Morelos, Mexico, a group of hikers spotted something unusual in the sky. As they walked near the ancient pyramid, a strange orange glow caught their eye. Floating above the treetops was a round object, unlike anything they'd seen before. The hikers grabbed their phones, zooming in to get a better look. The mysterious craft hovered silently, its lights flashing as if searching for a place to land. Amazed, the group watched as the UFO drifted over the pyramid. After a few breathtaking moments, it zipped away at incredible speed. Watch the surprising footage and decide for yourself. What do you think is flying over those pyramids? Triangular object. On June 25, 2024, when most people were fast asleep, something amazing happened. At 3 in the morning, people in Croatia spotted a strange object in the sky. It wasn't a star or a plane. It was a big triangle. It had bright blue lights at each corner that made it glow like something from a sci-fi movie. The lights looked like they were made of plasma, giving the whole thing a magical appearance. People who saw it were really confused. Some thought it might be a secret airplane, while others wondered if it could be visitors from another planet. Whatever it was, this glowing triangle in the Croatian sky left everyone with a mystery they're still trying to solve. Speedy orb. In 2022, a special group, AARO, in the Middle East had a meeting. They were talking about strange things seen in the sky that no one could explain. During this meeting, they showed a video that came from the military and showed something flying that nobody could figure out. This wasn't just a blurry dot in the sky. It was clear enough to make even these experts confused if it was a new kind of aircraft or something else entirely. Flickering light. A cold night in Alaska turned wild when something bizarre appeared in the sky. Locals were out for a late walk and they saw bright lights in the sky. The lights were moving faster than any plane or helicopter could. They quickly pulled out their phones and recorded. The lights zipped back and forth, making sharp turns. Then, in a blink, lights moved upward and vanished. No noise, no trail, just gone. Many people claimed it was a UFO and that aliens were checking out Earth. Meanwhile, the scientific community has yet to offer an explanation, so we'll have to wait until someone provides a proper explanation. Uruguay UFO. It's the craziest thing ever got everyone talking. A weird, perfectly round UFO was caught on camera in a small Uruguayan town. It was mid-afternoon when a local spotted an object moving above the houses. This wasn't a plane or a drone. The video showed a disc-shaped UFO gliding smoothly across the sky. It moved in ways that defied explanation, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, but always silent. The witness quickly grabbed his phone and started recording. The footage spread like wildfire online. UFO experts called it is the most convincing evidence yet. Orange Moon. On June 22, 2024, something amazing happened in London, UK. At 10:45 p.m., people looked up at the sky and saw something they had never seen before. A UFO was moving slowly across the orange moon. It was big, dark, and oval-shaped, and didn't stay in one place. It kept moving across the sky and moon. People stopped and took pictures. People shared pictures and videos on social media, trying to make sense of what they saw. Some thought it might be of extraterrestrial origin, while others believed it could be a man-made object or a natural phenomenon. And aerospace experts had confirmed that the UFO was spotted in London. Blue fireball. Two cities saw something odd one night. In Phoenix, a city camera caught a weird light at 5:33 in the morning. It started white, then flashed blue, growing bigger before it disappeared. Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, a man saw a bright streak in the sky. Then he called for help, saying he saw huge shapes in his yard. He thought the light had crashed down. People believed it was a sign of alien life. The strange lights and giant figures in two different cities on the same night made everyone curious and confused. Dancing lights. A strange video is spreading fast online. A boy was walking down the street when he saw something strange in the sky. As he looked up at the sky, he saw a massive alien ship hovering above the city. It was flashing bright lights that lit up the whole sky. The ship was spinning around its axis and making very loud sounds. They were so loud that people could hear them from miles away. People stopped what they were doing and looked up at the sky in shock. Suddenly, it emitted one final powerful beam of light directed downwards and then disappeared. Strange lights. A quiet night in a small town turned exciting when strange lights appeared in the sky. People spotted bright lights floating above their houses. These weren't like normal stars or planes. The lights moved smoothly and silently, making patterns in the sky. It looked like they were communicating to each other. Everyone came out to watch, amazed by what they saw. Some people thought the lights were angels, while others believed they were aliens or plasma beings from space. The mysterious lights hung around for about an hour, putting on a show for the whole town. Then, suddenly, the lights vanished without a trace. The town was left wondering what they had seen that night. Bright portal. A hiker's bike ride took an unexpected turn in the mountains. Suddenly, he spotted something that made him stop in his tracks. Far in the distance, a bright light shone, shining even the sun. He rode closer to look. In an open space, he found a shiny object floating above the ground and sending out light beams all around. The man hid behind a big rock to watch. After a bit, the shiny object went straight up into the sky at incredible speed. In seconds, it vanished from sight. The hiker wondered if he had seen a weather balloon, a secret military craft, or maybe even a visitor from another world. Giants aliens.
¡Mamá! ¡Míralo! ¡Ha crecido! ¡Mamá!
A girl was looking out her window in Peru when she saw something that made her grab her camera. On a hilltop, she spotted tall figures that looked nothing like people. The strange beings were huge, maybe 20 feet tall. They moved around the hilltop, looking in all directions, as if they were checking out the area. The giants acted like they were allowed to be there, walking freely and surveying the land. Just as quickly as they appeared, the mysterious figures disappeared. The girl told her parents, who reported it to the authorities. Officials closed off the area to look into the strange sighting. Even though they searched everywhere, they couldn't find any trace of the tall visitors. The hill remains closed as the mystery continues. Alien in the woods. A forest officer was on his regular patrol through the woods. As he walked along the familiar trail, something strange caught his attention near an old oak tree. Curious, the officer moved closer. Suddenly, a thin gray figure with large dark eyes and a small mouthless face peeked out from behind the tree. It looked just like the aliens he'd seen in movies. Blinking in disbelief, the forest officer wondered if someone was playing a prank. But when he looked again, the figure had disappeared. The officer stood still, wondering if he'd seen something truly out of this world. Brazil aliens. On a small island near Brazil, something weird happened. People saw two very tall creatures walking on a hill. These beings looked a bit like humans, but were much taller. They moved in a strange way and could easily climb the tough hill. The people were very surprised. It was like watching a movie in real life. What's really odd is that someone saw a similar tall creature far away in Miami, too. This made people wonder if these beings might be from space. Are the creatures in Brazil and Miami the same? Should we worry about them? Everyone wants to know more about these tall beings. Cornfield visitor. A farmer in the northern United States noticed strange disturbances in his cornfield. He was curious and decided to investigate, so he took a flashlight and a camera to check it out. As he walked through the tall corn, he noticed something hiding behind the plants. The figure looked like it came from an alien movie with big shiny eyes and a small body. It stood still for a moment, then saw the farmer filming and quickly hid behind some bushes. He felt scared and thought there might be more than one creature in the field.
Do you have any others? Did any of the others come with you?
He ran back to his house and was sure he had seen an alien. When he checked in the morning, it wasn't there. Floating tree. Look up there. There's something really weird floating in the sky of Willow Creek, and I've never seen anything like it. A bush was just hanging in midair, having no strings, nothing holding it up. A bush was floating in the air above the town square. It wasn't tied to anything, just floating there. People were amazed and started filming. Some tried to touch or grab the bush. They joked it was like magic from Harry Potter. Then all of a sudden the bush vanished. Everyone started looking for it. They searched all over town but couldn't find it anywhere. People thought aliens had taken the bush away. Misty figure. The camera recorded 3 frightened stray dogs in an empty lot. They were nervous because a strange object was floating near them. The camera could only see this object using infrared light. It looked like a shapeless blob moving through the air. Cryptid or craft. One day in Spain, something unusual appeared in the sky. An odd-shaped object was spinning in midair, its rusty brown color glistening in the light. It looked like it had a flashing light in the center. People stopped what they were doing to stare at this strange sight. As the object continued to spin silently, it didn't move away. Rumors spread quickly, with some thinking it might be aliens surveying our planet. Others wondered if it was a secret government project or a new kind of drone. No one could explain what they were seeing, but it felt like something out of a science fiction movie. Nightmare encounter. A man found strange holes in his garage door and checked his security camera footage. What he saw stunned him. and he couldn't believe his eyes. A strange figure appeared on the screen, lurking around his backyard. It was tall, had an unusual gait, and moved with a purpose. He watched more footage and saw the same bizarre figure breaking pieces off the garage door. He looked closely at it but couldn't tell if it was a person, an animal, or something else entirely. It seemed to be from another world. After a few minutes, it suddenly disappeared. It didn't walk away or run off. He rewound the footage several times, but the result was always the same. Dogman. It was a typical evening in Oregon when a strange sighting shook the internet. A shadowy figure was caught lurking behind a tree on the side of the road, and the footage quickly went viral, with millions of people watching it. Some people thought it was a big, hairy creature called Sasquatch. Others thought it was a skinwalker or a person wearing a hoodie. But many people believed it was a cryptid, a mysterious creature from old stories. It lived in the woods, and it was very good at hiding, and it ate humans, and it was most active at night. The video from Oregon has made people wonder, maybe it wasn't just a story but a real creature living in the woods. It's a strange and scary thought, but it's possible. Inhumane entity. In a small town, there was a yard where something strange happened. One night, an emaciated person walked through the yard. This person had very thin limbs and moved in an odd way. It had very pale skin and sunken eyes. Its gait was unnatural, as if it was floating rather than walking. People who saw it thought it was someone on drugs wandering around. They thought it was a druggie and called the local authorities. When the authorities finally arrived to investigate, the person was gone. It was as if it had vanished into air like a ghost. Rooftop creature. A security guard was on his rounds when he saw a strange creature on the rooftop. He was making his usual rounds, checking the perimeter of the building, when he shone his flashlight up at the rooftop. He saw a creature unlike anything he had ever seen before. It looked humanoid, but its eyes glowed in the dark, reflecting the light of his flashlight. It was eating something, but he couldn't make out what it was. The creature's skin was a grayish color, and it moved around on its hands and knees like an animal. Without thinking, he dropped his flashlight and ran back. When they checked the security cameras, some people thought it might just be a naked person, but he was sure it was a skinwalker. Kentucky entity. In Moorhead, Kentucky, a security camera recorded something very strange. The footage showed a pale figure walking in an unusual manner. This figure resembled a ghost and had a strange glow around it. When the video was shared online, it quickly went viral. People were amazed and curious about what it could be. Some thought it might be a trick or a hoax, while others believed it could be real. Texas creature. In East Texas, a mysterious creature was recorded in a field. A local farmer had set up cameras to monitor his crops. One morning, he checked the footage and saw something strange. A creature. It was tall with black fur and glowing eyes. It walked on two legs, much like a human, but its movements were more animal-like. He shared the video online and it quickly went viral. People began to speculate about what the creature could be. Some thought it might be a dogman. Others suggested it could be a Bigfoot or even an unknown cryptid. He continued to watch his fields, hoping for another sighting, but it stayed hidden. Local authorities set up patrols to keep everyone safe and protect the wildlife. Enlightened figure. A man spent years in the forest meditating, fasting, and praying. One night, under a full moon, he felt a strange energy, and his body began to glow with a soft, golden light. He felt light and peaceful, as if he was one with the universe and had finally reached his divine form of enlightenment. Villagers came to see him. He looked different. His eyes shone with a strange light, and he had a calm aura around him. His words were full of deep meaning and truth, and people listened intently. Everyone was convinced that he had truly reached a divine state. Electrocuted alien. A man from China told a strange story about something that happened by the Yellow River. According to him, he saw 5 extraterrestrial beings that looked like aliens. One of them got too close to a strong electric fence and died. The man decided to take the dead alien's body home, where he stored it in his freezer to preserve it. He thought it might be significant to show people one day. However, his secret was soon discovered by the authorities. Police interrogated him about the alien. When they searched his house, they found the alien body and gave it to scientists to study in a lab. Injured alien. A shiny saucer was flying high in the sky of China. Suddenly, it lost control and fell to the ground with a loud crash. When the dust settled, an alien crawled out. It was small, about 3 feet tall, with big, round eyes that glowed green. Its skin was a light gray, and it had long arms and tiny fingers. But the alien was hurt. Its leg was badly injured with a big wound that made it hard to walk. People nearby saw the crash and rushed over. They quickly called for help and took the alien to the lab. Scientists carefully cleaned the wound and wrapped the leg in bandages. The alien made strange beeping sounds, which seemed to be its way of saying thank you. Village vortex. People in a small town saw something frightening one night. They noticed a weird shape sitting in a big old tree. It looked like a person wearing a white dress. But the weirdest part was the light spinning around it. The light moved in circles, making the white dress glow in the dark. The farmers thought it was a ghost. They all watched from a distance and flashed their lights on it. But the figure didn't move. Beach alien. One sunny day, beachgoers found something weird on the sand. It was a creature that looked like it came from another planet. People on the beach were amazed. It had a big head, long fingers, and skin that sparkled in the sun. But the creature wasn't moving at all. It was lifeless. The police came and took the alien's body to a lab. Scientists looked at it very carefully. They did many tests to learn about the strange creature. They wanted to know where it came from and if there were more like it. Pale extraterrestrial. A man saw something weird in a dark hospital hallway one night. There was a strange creature sitting in a wheelchair. Its head was huge and its arms were twisted backwards. The creature was very skinny. When the man got close, the creature opened its eyes. They were super bright and looked sad. The man, in shock, tried to communicate with it. Then the creature started talking. But the man couldn't understand it. The creature was speaking in a language he had never heard before. He thought maybe aliens had left this creature on Earth all alone. The creature turned its head to face the wall, like it was hiding. It seemed lost and waiting for someone to understand it.
You feeling okay? You feel well?
It's time for today's open discussion. Something super weird happened in the sky over a Chinese city one evening. As people were going home after work, 3 flying saucers suddenly appeared. They glowed with a strange blue light and made a deep, humming sound. People in the streets stopped and stared in disbelief. These weird sounds echoed all around the city. The saucers started shooting beams of blue light down into the city. Wherever the beams touched, all electricity went out. Soon, whole blocks were dark. Panic spread as people tried to call for help, but phones weren't working. Just when things seemed worst, the saucers flew straight up at incredible speed. In seconds, they vanished, leaving the stunned city in darkness. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.